to getting trapped there. Even if Baby didn't bring back his army, I think he would have been able to survive. Like, his counterattack would have surely crushed one of Hyuk's bases, and he would be able to survive in his main. But it looks like Hyuk coming in again for a massive assault. Baby with his forces spread out. Tons of lings coming, but Baby running a good fighting retreat here. I'm not quite sure why Hyuk has so many units, and where is the rest of Baby's army? It looks like Hyuk is actually going to pin Baby to the wall here and almost defeat his field army. Most of it goes down. There are only a few Marines left. Scourge coming out trying to take on the Science Vessel. Irradiate's going off. Scourge getting killed by that Marine. Critically, 2 Marines left. And I have to say, I don't know why Baby has so few forces. It was Hyuk lost way more in that attack than he wanted to. I'm not quite sure what his tech is like at this point. I mean, he's been morphing so many lurkers during this entire time. I'm not quite sure whether he has the resources even to have gone for Defilers. Baby, oh, that's why he's transitioning into mech. That's why he didn't have any more forces on the field. Baby, I mean, Hyuk just now having his hive. I don't know whether he even has the Defilers mount out yet. The vultures, a few vultures are out here for Baby. I just think, you know, this is both players not really playing at a very high level here, I have to say. That mine going to go off. Oh, the Zergling killed the mine. Good for the Zergling. So, I'm not quite sure what Baby's plan is even this entire game. He's been making these tentative pushes out just to be stopped by Hyuk whenever he manages to move out. Now he's assaulting again in the middle of the map, going to take out a small force of Hyuk's here, including a drone and a slow overlord, which surely will rally there because of the rally command. I mean, you would never move a drone out there. Maybe the overlord, but even so, for a scouting overlord, you should put it over a cliff, not in the middle of the field like that, which is just silly. It looks like both players are going to try to fight each other again. Baby irradiating his science vessels, trying to do Eraser, but he does not succeed like Flash. Baby losing both his science vessels there, losing a third one even. Some bad choice there, bad decision I have to say. I mean, if that's the only thing you're doing, it's very easy for a Zerg player to stop. Flash succeeds often with that maneuver because there are so many things that are going on the map that the Zerg player literally has no time to respond to the Eraser trick, and that is when it's particularly devastating. As you can see, that was a failed example, a very good example of a failed Eraser trick. Super easy to pick off with Scourge. Both players sort of in the middle of the map, not really trying to do anything. Baby still with a small force of Mech Marines out. He's built quite a few more vultures here. I don't even know why he transitioned to mech like this. Maybe he just feels this is kind of what he has to do. You know, this is what other Terran players are doing, so sure, I'll do that too. I mean, the mech transition has robbed him of the opportunity to try to put on some more pressure after he defeated Hyuk's sandwich attack there. If he had 5 racks pumping infantry, I suspect he would have been able to break through at one of Hyuk's bases. As it stands, Hyuk has somehow managed to survive in this game, get his Defilers out. Well, okay, it's not somehow. He managed to survive in this game because he had no harass or any sort of real pressure coming from Baby. That's exactly why he's managed to survive. So, not too much of a shock. As long as Hyuk doesn't continue to throw away armies like he did earlier, he should be fine. Hyuk also with some good use of Scourge. It appears that he's usually pretty good as long as he has only one thing on the map to worry about. Hyuk does not strike me as a sort of player who's particularly good at multitasking, but as long as there's one thing going on the map, Hyuk actually can play a pretty competent game with StarCraft. And Baby, he seems to be reacting so slowly this game. He's losing vultures to Zerglings rather needlessly, I have to say. Don't know why. This is not characteristic of his play. Usually he is much better at reaction than this, and I have to say, with this form, Baby's not going to get far in the OSL. Even if by some miracle he makes it into round 16, he's just going to get crushed 3-0, I fear. Or 0-3, I guess, in that case, because you win 3-0. Looks like Baby trying to assault with his infantry here. There are 2 lurkers in the front, screening lurkers going down. These vultures trying to lay down mine. Massive number of Zerglings coming out for Hyuk. Baby fighting a reasonable running retreat. Those mines getting dragged into all sorts of tanks. Those Zerglings being blocked by the medic wall for now, but there are so many Zerglings, and those Marine medics are all dead. Baby lost pretty much all his tanks to mine drags, and this is a disaster, I have to say. Complete disaster here for Baby, he's lost yet again his offensive punch. Fortunately for him, he has managed to build up quite a few more reinforcements this time as opposed to last time. And now he's trying to irradiate again. This time Hyuk doesn't see. Oh, Hyuk does have a single pair of Scourge. He's trying his best. He's also got a Hydralisk, so Hyuk reacting quite well to this Eraser. Let's say he has lost quite a few drones here, and Hyuk, what is he doing? He was doing so well until he stopped paying attention at the last moment or something like that, and he lost way more drones than was strictly necessary. Just as I was praising him for doing well, he fails again. Both players really not very good this game, I have to say. Substandard game of StarCraft, which makes it somewhat entertaining to watch because it is certainly expected from Hyuk, but baby, I was expecting better, I have to say. This is not the performance of a great StarCraft player. Now he's finally managed to secure some sort of position over Hyuk's natural, although Hyuk has been running on 4 bases for some time now. And now Hyuk trying yet another assault. This time he doesn't seem to have many Zerglings at all. He's managed to put down a swarm, but baby with tier defenses is buying plenty of reinforcing tanks. This is going to be fine. Hyuk not really able to clear this out. And Hyuk for some reason putting down a hatchery in the middle of the map. I have no idea why he's doing that. I guess there's no other place to expand to. I mean, expanding to 12 o'clock is really risky, but expanding in the middle actually is not necessarily a bad maneuver. Zerg does well in open field combat, and baby seems to have gotten stuck. If Hyuk can secure the middle and cut off the sieged up force of baby from his main base, cut off the supply line, I think Hyuk would be in a good position to win this game, because then he could easily crush baby's expansion at the 5 o'clock position and starve baby out immediately. But it looks like baby is going to contest the middle too. Both players trying to maneuver forces in the middle, but Hyuk now in some trouble. Baby landed barracks cleverly there to create more of a choke, and baby really taking advantage of this choke point as best he can. Hyuk's forces not really able to do much. Irradiates all of those Hydras, and Hyuk losing all sorts of units here. I fear his expansion in the middle is going to go down. All those Hydras getting destroyed. That was much better play coming from baby, I have to say. Hyuk again trying to assault the front here, but this time he doesn't have enough units, it looks like. He's sending slow Ultralisk. That's just bait for tanks and mines. Not quite sure why he's doing this. And Hyuk not burrowing his lurkers, somehow mind dragging the lurkers, and these Ultralisks, even though they managed to clear up this Heron army, are severely weakened after this push. Irradiates going off on these Ultralisks, and I fear this is the end of Hyuk's assault. And baby is going to be able to stem this onslaught here without too much of an effort. Nice play, I would say, by Hyuk. All of those science vessels, if he can have a few Scourge to clean that up, he'll be in decent shape. But Hyuk lost so many forces in this assault, really achieving nothing here. He's losing his expansion that he put down in the middle, and baby has enough reinforcements to stop this. I mean, slow Ultralisks are bait for siege tanks and mines. I have no idea why Hyuk opted to employ this at all. In fact, Ultralisk armor isn't even that critical in mech play. The speed is really what's much more important, because the armor upgrade is negligible compared to the siege tank damage, and it looks like Hyuk going to load up a few forces to drop on top of these tanks. Perhaps he should have done this with his main assault. He would have performed better. He is maybe trying to drop his forces over the main line of tanks, but baby has Goliaths, and I don't think Hyuk's drop is going to amount to anything. He's managed to plague and swarm nicely. Actually, Hyuk doing quite a bit of damage with that little drop. I have to say, better than I expected. Knocking out more forces than I thought he would. Still, baby's solidly entrenched there. He's even sent SCVs to repair his science vessels. Those science vessels, the longer they're alive, the more havoc they can cause. Those Irradiates already doing huge damage, I have to say. Yeah, single Ultralisk rampaging here in the middle of the tanks, and this time Ultralisks do have speed, killing all those tanks, but baby with reinforcements going to clean up Hyuk's attack yet again. Hyuk looks like these Overlords, they have units. I can't tell, not sure. Maybe he's trying to drop at the 7 o'clock, but I mean 5 o'clock rather. Maybe that's his purpose, or maybe he missed micro. I don't know. That was seemingly pointless, and now Hyuk loading up more forces into Overlords. He is bleeding units at this point, not really making any sort of real progress. It's mine out at 2 bases, I expect. Hyuk really down to 2 bases here, whereas baby has seemed to secure himself to base at the 6 o'clock. He's got tanks there, and Hyuk now losing all sorts of overlords to turrets and Goliaths. Sending those units single file, not really working out for him, and I think Baby's going to win this game by sheer attrition at this point, because I don't think Hyuk's going to be able to break through to 12 o'clock. And Hyuk really not playing a particularly inspired game of StarCraft either. I mean, what is there to say at this point? Certainly, I didn't quite anticipate this outcome. I thought one of the players would fail miserably early on and lose the game in that fashion. This is sort of more of a long, drawn-out failure here. Hyuk persisting with these drops, accomplishing absolutely nothing. He's sending overlords in piecemeal just to get slaughtered by, I mean, that overlord that went down earlier probably had 2 ultras, of which he only dropped 1, and this particular drop of 2 ultras going to kill a few tanks, but not really accomplishing anything either. Baby with a nice tier defense system, going to be able to hold on to his eastern part of the map without a problem here, and Hyuk is mostly running on autopilot now. He's just building Ultra Lings to assault pointlessly against these Terran forces, sending small number of troops, sending isolated drops, able to achieve some damage, but not really accomplishing anything in this war. I would say at this point, Hyuk has lost the war, even if he should manage to win some battles, which he's not. These are mostly draws. Looks like Baby is comfortable enough to send just Vultures to deal with Ultralisk at the 5 o'clock position. Ultralisk actually quite good against Vultures, as you can see there. Baby really sending a ton of Vultures to deal with these Ultralisks here. He must have sent over a dozen to deal with 2 Ultralisks and more Goliaths too. But Hyuk looking kind of vacant expression there, I have to say. Although that is not unusual for him. He can show flashes of emotion, though, when things have really gone bad for him. This isn't such a unexpected turn of events that, well, Baby has like a dozen. No, that's probably only like 7 or 8 science vessels. Only 7 or 8 science vessels, in addition to the massive mech army that Baby's amassed at this point. There's no chance that Hyuk can come back, especially after losing all these drones in the middle. Not that he could save them, so GG coming from Hyuk. Uninspired game of StarCraft, I have to say, but going on to the second set.